If you've ever known exactly what your next move was and still couldn't make yourself do it, this video is for you. Because most of the time, it's not that you're burned out and lost your drive. It's that you're too quick trying to fix yourself or you're solving the wrong thing. And I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like through a client who came in thinking they had a motivation problem, but they didn't. And why the moment they figured out what was actually happening, they got focused and clear and finally knew what to do next. So my client was stressed out because she had 2 friends waiting, ready to hand deliver her resume to people they knew. Good companies, real opportunities, and the kind of doors that don't stay open forever. And she still hadn't sent them. Weeks went by. The doors were still open, but not for long. But she stayed frozen. And every day she didn't move, the story in her head just got louder. She got more anxious and frustrated with herself. She said to me, "Something is wrong with me. I've lost my drive. I need to get back to who I was." So she came to the session wanting to talk about this lack of motivation, about how she needed to get it together and force herself back into action. She had a whole plan because she wanted to recreate the urgency that used to get her moving. But I stopped her. And not because the strategy hadn't worked in the past. It had. But because something felt off. She was moving too fast. She was moving toward a solution to fix herself, and I wasn't sure she actually understood what was really going on. I didn't think she could hear the signal through the noise. What was real information about where she wanted to go next, or which were reactions to unchecked assumptions? So I asked her, what if you're not avoiding the opportunity? What if you're avoiding going back to the same conditions that burned you out in the first place? And she went quiet. And then she said something that I really want you to hear. She said, "I think I don't know how to lead myself. I've just been waiting to be led." And I knew it. That was it. That was the shift. She had spent her entire career being rewarded for executing well inside systems someone else had designed. A role, a deadline, a manager's expectation, external structure that told her what to do next. And she was really good at it, really good. So good at it that it burnt her out. But nobody had ever asked her to generate her own direction, to decide from the inside what mattered and what didn't. So when the structure shifted, when the pressure wasn't getting her going and the path was murky, she had no internal compass to replace it. She waited for clarity to come from the outside, but it didn't. So she tried to push harder, but that didn't work either. So she decided she was broken. Does that sound familiar? She wasn't broken. She was trying out an old, dated strategy without realizing it wasn't working anymore. The freeze was a symptom. The self-judgment, the loss of motivation were just symptoms. And she was trying to fix it all, but they wouldn't change because the actual problem was still sitting there, unnamed. She hadn't turned the question around to herself. How do I get myself moving? What is this freeze telling me? She left the session with one sentence to finish. I would say yes to this, if only. Whatever fills that blank. That's not an excuse, that's her compass. That's the clarity that has to come before the commitment, before she could say yes to those new job opportunities, before the relocation, before the decisions that felt so daunting that freezing was the only option. And here's what I see all the time with smart, capable managers. They're not stuck because they've lost their drive in the burnout. They're stuck because what got them here won't get them where they need to go next. The freeze, the lost, the motivation, the inability to take action, those are just symptoms. And symptoms feel urgent, so we throw all our energy at them. But if you don't yet know what you need, you can't lead yourself forward until you do. Great leaders know how to lead themselves because they know clarity precedes commitment. They can discern between what they actually know and what they're assuming. They pause before reacting. They treat resistance as information rather than weakness. And they get clear on what's non-negotiable before they commit to any move. So here's what I want you to sit with. Think about one move you've been avoiding, one opportunity you know you should take, but can't seem to start. And before you push yourself to act, ask yourself this. Is the freeze the problem, or is it telling you something you haven't let yourself hear yet? This week, finish this sentence. I would say yes to this, if only. See what comes up. It's not resistance, it's information, and that's where your next move starts. If you're a mid-level manager or director who knows something needs to change but can't figure out why you're not moving, let's talk. Book a strategy call with me. The link is in the description.